we don't know these things, so don't assume. That is really important. So with all that out of the way, the reason I brought up Office 365 is I'm finding it probably my number two service seller right now. It's the number two thing I sell the most of when it comes to service. Obviously, the number one thing I sell is labor, but the number two thing I sell is Office 365. It's a product and a service, so it's fantastic. If you guys don't know what it is, it's Exchange in the cloud, hosted through Microsoft. It's super reliable as any cloud-based email is. You have to obviously have a domain, so it's not, they don't have Chris at Office 365. It has to be Chris at Technology Adventure, so it has to be a domain you own or your customer owns. It's $7 per user, which includes Exchange. It includes all web apps. So web apps are Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote in the cloud. It includes a SharePoint site, and includes 25 gigs of data storage for their email, which is a lot, for $7 per user. There's huge benefits to this. I don't know about you, but 8 to 9 out of 10 customers that I see are on Outlook. They love Outlook. Mm-hmm. I hate Outlook. People love Outlook. Back to the same thing. Who am I to convince somebody to not be on Outlook? If they love Outlook, fantastic. Do I have the product for you? Because Outlook is built for Exchange. It's not built for Hotmail. It's not built for IMAP Mail. It's built for Exchange from the ground up. So it works so much better with Exchange. You get it doesn't crash as much. All your data's up in the cloud. So if you get a corrupt PST or a corrupt OST or whatever they're called, it doesn't matter. Kill it, reboot it, and suck it all back down because it's all up there. It doesn't make a difference. It syncs just absolutely wonderfully with an iPhone and with an Android phone, and I would assume Windows Phone 7. I haven't seen too many of those yet, but I'll probably start seeing some more of them. And it's just like it's really just like Google Apps, except it is built with Outlook in mind. Again, I can't keep saying that enough. It's just built with Outlook. So if your customers are not addicted to Outlook, then sell them Google Apps. But if they are addicted to Outlook, sell them Office 365. So how does it work? You sell it to them for $7 a user. So I just did a sale yesterday for a client. He has 5 users, so that's $35. Is my arithmetic right? 7 times 5, 35. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's $35 a month for them. I make a percentage of the sale every month. I work. Sorry, I just saw something come up in the chat room, which threw me for a loop, and I'll answer that in a second. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I get 12% of the sale every month while that customer is signed up. So for as long as that customer signs up for Office 365, I get 12% of it. Fantastic, right? That's great stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus, it takes give or take with that many clients, with that many customers on 5 customers. So for that customer, I'd be setting up their Outlook on their computer at work, their Outlook on their computer at home, and their iPhone. Each one of those people have those 3 devices to set up. So give or take, by the time I upload all their old contacts, all their old email, because you can upload it all to the Office 365 servers, set everything up, change their domains, change their MX records and everything, that's going to be a give or take about an 8 to 10 hour job. So I charge $105 an hour for that. So we're talking in the neighborhood of $1,000 to set that all up. So that customer pays me $1,000 and they have hosted Exchange. I'm selling it like wildfire. Every other business that I see buys it. So 1 and 2 are buying it, and I'm making fantastic profits on it. And it's so easy. It's just so easy. I just bring it up, I talk about it, and then I leave, and then I get a phone call saying we want that. And so someone in the chat just said, but Google Apps works fine with Outlook. No, Google Apps does not work fine with Outlook. Google Apps IMAP will pull down mail from Outlook or from Gmail, but to get calendar and contact syncing, you have to have a little stub of a program running down in your taskbar that is a piece of crap. And anytime you have to have a little stub of a program syncing data, there's room for error. There's all sorts of problems with that. That's just not a good idea. You don't want a secondary program working in between Outlook. That's how you get Outlook crashing, corruptions, all sorts of bad stuff. Outlook is, again, not a good program in my opinion, but it's what people like. And it actually works good with Exchange. So yes, it is possible to use Google Apps with Outlook. I'm not saying it's not, but it doesn't work all that well. So that's, my sales pitch to the customer is you never have to worry about your email again. It's up in the cloud. We don't have to worry about it when your computer crashes. Doesn't matter. It's always going to be synced between machines. Whether you're on your iPhone and you delete an email, it's deleted on every computer you have. If you're on, and again, Google Apps does do some of this too. And yeah, PC Freddy's right. Google Apps does not play with Outlook unless you pay for it. If you want to sell Google Apps. That's cool too. I personally don't sell Google Apps. I do sometimes, but I'll give away the free version. That's if people are going past that point where they need the paid version of Google Apps, and I always put them on Office 365. The contact syncing is really good. The calendaring is awesome on 365, and they have if you really don't want to use Outlook, the web client is really, really good. It's pretty much Outlook in your web browser. It's really good. I use it for my company, and I'm all Apple. So, but I'm on Office 365. I mean, some of the reason I do it is to resell it, obviously. But again, I'm not in this business to have I'm in it to make money is what it comes down to. And Office 365 makes me money. Google Apps does not make me as much. So I'm going to go with Office 365. And it's fantastic. It is a good product. Everyone out there should just at least give it a try. And it's free to sign up for a partner resale program with Microsoft. And you get your money direct from Microsoft every month.
What do you do with the SharePoint? Do you have that set up? And also, I got another question is like for setting all these different people up, is it kind of a cookie cutter process? Is it pretty close to the same thing every time, or is it a lot of research and work going into setting it up for different types of businesses?
It's pretty much cookie cutter. The only part that's different each time is the first initial step, which is the back end, which is figuring out their domain host. So I love when it's GoDaddy. I know everyone here hates GoDaddy, but I know GoDaddy, so it's super easy for me to point MX records from GoDaddy to the Microsoft servers. When it's other companies, so like, some of these people have weird companies I've never ever heard of, like weird hosting companies. So I have to call them or email them and tell them to point the MX records to this, this, and this. Then once that happens and you do something called auto discover, every device that is 2007 and above, so Outlook 2007 and above, or Apple Mail 2007 and above, automatically connects to the servers, does all the configuration by itself, and sets up your email, calendar, and contacts automatically. So it's pretty much, you open up Outlook, you pick Exchange, you put in your email address, your username, which is your email address, and your password, and it configures everything automatically. You don't have to do anything else. No back-end work. The only one that's a little bit harder is Android, because you do have to put the back-end server in, but they walk you through it. Once you've done it twice, it's easy. And SharePoint. So SharePoint, I've seen it there. I've messed with it a little bit. I've never had a customer use it yet, so I haven't even really got into it. I mean, it's going to be cool for sharing documents and doing collaboration, and that's like sort of a big buzzword out there is collaboration. And I got to collaborate with this person on this document, and everyone's like, oh, wow, that'll be fantastic. Because I tell them about it. No one's used it yet, so I don't know.
Okay. How about like Intune? Have you sold any of that to go along with the service?
No, because Intune is like brutally expensive. It's made more for, you're going to get into like, I think a few 100,000 computers, or a few thousand at least, before you start seeing the benefits of it. I forget what it was, but it's a lot per month. What they need. Go ahead.
I guess for those who don't know, the Intune is basically their step up from security essentials for antivirus that they kind of try to sell along with it.
Yeah, I would love to do Intune. If it was cheaper, I would sell it to every single customer because I'm looking for that single point. Intune kind of makes it like you put this little stub of a program, Intune, on your customers' computers, and it's like the server is up in the cloud, so you have access to every computer that the Intune client is running on, and you can do, backups. You can do all the updates from in the Intune client instead of having to remote into each computer individually. But I forget the cost. The cost is prohibitively expensive. But supposedly Microsoft is coming out with one that's more geared to real small businesses. Like, my customers are all like 10 clients and under, 10 workstations and under at most. So I need something that's like, I could sell it if it was another $7 or $6 on top of Office 365 per month. I could sell that, but it's not. I forget what it is. It was expensive. I looked into.
I think it was in the, for some reason, like $27 was coming to my head per seat, I think.
Per seat per month, which is a lot, right?
It is, yeah.
It starts to get to be enough. But again, I didn't just say I shouldn't, tell customers not to spend their money. I should start bringing it up, but there's only so many things I can sell at one point.
Yeah, I guess it just kind of goes with the whole, 365 system, if you're there.
Yeah.
Have you had any setups where you haven't been able to get the 365 going, or has it all been successful?
It's all successful. It's time consuming, but easy. Super easy work. Again, the hardest part is that beginning part. I guess the second hardest part would be uploading all the clients' old email to the Office 365 servers. Some customers, I tell them, let's make a fresh start. Let's archive all your old email in an archive in Outlook, back it up, and let's start again. Let's sort of claim email bankruptcy here because you have a lot of crap, and let's have a fresh start with Office 365. And a lot of people are like, yeah, let's do that. And they just use they just use their archive for when a customer calls and they have to look up an old email. But the one I'm dealing with right now, we are going to have to upload everything up into the Office 365 servers. But it's 25 gigs, so it's quite a bit of space. It's more than Gmail, and I think it's more than Google Apps, or it's the same. Google Apps, maybe it's 25. So it's a lot. The service, the uptime is really good. You don't get much downtime on it. With every cloud service, you get a little bit. I just like the fact that I'm getting paid commissions every month. Every month it's going up and up and up and up and up and up. And I want more stuff like that, where I've already done the work and I just keep getting paid.
Have you used any of like a link on your website or sent an email that has like your reseller code in it where someone has tried a self-installation of it and just, you get the commission from that at all?
No, not interested in that. I want the service too. I want that. It's pretty much as I say to customers, about $250 a workstation to do it, or a person to get Office 365 set up for them. So it's the $7 a month, and then about $255 per person to get it all set up on their systems. I want that $250. That's right. I'm a service business. We're all service business. To me, selling my labor is more important than selling any part I could possibly sell, because my labor isn't all profit, but it's a lot of it. It's where all the, our bread and butter is our labor. That's where we're making the most of our money from. And with businesses, it's the best. And that's why I also try and sell as many bulk hours or managed service contracts to every customer that I talk to. Every single one. I call them on a monthly basis if they don't have one, until they finally just get irritated with me and buy.
That's a heck of a sales plan there. So how many businesses do you have on contract, do you think, or approximately?
As of right now, 5, which isn't a lot, but it's not bad.
Yeah, well, it's I've only been more than a lot of us, though,
Yeah. I have 2 customers that are only on 2 hours per month. So they do 2 hours and they pay quarterly. So I get the money per quarter. And then the other customers, I have 2 that are on 5 hours. And then I have 1 that I actually haven't sold yet. So it's actually 4 that I'm really trying. And the guy just called me today saying he wants another meeting. So I can usually close on the 3rd meeting. So it'll be probably about 5 as well. So what I have is I have a pricing document that I created that I give to these customers and tells them. So for an example, I'll just give you a quick go through of the pricing document. This is for small business, not for residential. So for no contract, so that means break fix, you just call me. There's a problem. I come out. This is what it is. It's $105 an hour with a 1 hour minimum. This is on site work.